Hi, I'm Jo from J.H.Leather, and in this video I'm going to go over the different adhesives and reinforcement that I use in my leatherwork. So I'm going to start with the adhesives and glues that I use. Now I get a lot of questions as to what adhesive that I use, and for the most part over the last 14 years I have been doing leatherwork. The answer to that has been Bostik 6092 neoprene adhesive. Now I say for the most part as I have just switched away from using that here in the workshop and over to EcoStick. The main reason behind that is that the Bostik contains a lot of nasty chemicals and you need to use it in a very well ventilated area. So if you support me on Patreon and you watch the exclusive vlogs, then you will know that I have actually installed some temporary glazing here, which means I cannot open the windows, and opening the door alone doesn't do enough to ventilate the room. Now I did recently remove one of the units so I could open the window, but that's still not going to be enough to ventilate the room enough for using the Bostik. So that is why I have moved over to the EcoStick, which is a water-based adhesive, and as they are non-solvent, they are safe to use in confined areas. So I have actually replaced the Bostik with two EcoStick adhesives, the 1816B and the 5019N. Now they both have similar properties of being odorless, dry and transparent, and keeping the leather nice and flexible, but the 5019N option is the stronger of the two and is what I'm going to be using when I am using the thicker leathers. Now you use these in the same way as you would any other adhesive, where you apply the glue to both sides of the pieces that you're going to stick together. The main difference between these and the Bostiks that I have found is that you have to wait longer for it to become sticky and attach your pieces together. But that isn't really a deal breaker, and you can use a heat gun to speed this up. Another glue that I have here in the workshop is just some standard PVA. Now I don't use this for gluing my leatherwork together, but it is handy to have to use on the ends of my linen threads when I'm stitching to make sure they stay where they're supposed to once they've been trimmed off. For the application of these glues, I like to use a spatula in different widths along with a paintbrush, and you want to apply this to both sides of your leather and allow them to dry a bit, and with these glues they will go clear and tacky when they are ready to stick together. For the PVA, when I'm applying this to the ends of my threads, I usually use my scratcher as I can get this into the ends of my stitching holes. Moving away from adhesive, but these are still handy to have in the workshop, is some double-sided assembly tape. Now these are great to use when attaching zippers to leather or when attaching pockets into wallets or bags, for example, as they are not messy and you can save time as you're not going to need to wait for the glue to dry. The tapes come in various widths, so depending on what you are making, there should be a tape to suit your project. On to reinforcements. Now there are a couple of different options here depending on what you are making. We're going to start by talking about some non-stretch reinforcement tape. Now this tape is great for reinforcing small thin pieces of leather like zip pullers and D-ring straps, and you can also use this to reinforce stitching areas on bags as it is super thin, so it's not going to add any bulk to your project. The tape can also be used on items like watch straps as well as belts to stop them from stretching, and like the double-sided tape, you can usually purchase these in a number of different widths. When it comes to reinforcement fabrics, the one that I like to use here is the Dacon self-adhesive reinforcement fabric, and it's great for reinforcing thinner leathers. Now I like to use this fabric on the pockets of wallets as it is 0.1mm thick, so it's not going to add any bulk to my project, and as it is self-adhesive, although it can be fiddly to use, it is not messy and you have the advantage of not having to wait for your glue to dry. Another way of reinforcing leather is through buying split hides, and these are also great for using as prototype material as they are pretty cheap to purchase. The reason for that is because they are the flesh side of a hide that has been split even thinner, so while they're not the nicest to look at, that doesn't matter when it's going to be covered or used as a prototype or fillet in your projects. An alternative to split leather is leatherboard or bonded leathers. These are available in a larger variety of thicknesses and generally come in sheets, and online they may be known by brand names like Salamander or Salpa Leather. Now these are something that I am yet to use in my own leather work, but I do know of other crafters who use these material in their own work to great effect. So I think that is everything, and I'm going to leave a long list of supplies in the description for you to have a look at. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos and tutorials, and I shall see you in the next video.